virtually certainly all the front-running teams had a device on their fueler that gave them about an 0.8 of a second advantage in fueling, and they've all been using that since 2007. So we simply assumed that it was okay to use.
You know, once they discovered the only two that they decided to look at was wrong, I think that should have raised a question to them that, you know, we're probably not the only ones in the paddock using this. So, you know, like I say, were we right? No. Were they right? I don't think so either.
really hurts, Larry. I got feelings too. Thanks a lot.
Where's the set heads?
You said it time and time again. Don't beat your.
Hey guys, Barbosa is getting in the 59, and it looks like the 60 is going to come in, so Negri will be getting in that car.
Thanks, Mike.
Cool.
And it looks like Kelly Collins got the 07.
Did the BMW get going again, or is it whatever happened there?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, it's going. It's out on track.
Came to pit road, Doris. Came to pit road.
Hey guys, your mic's on?
Hello.
There we go.
Go.
Did you guys see the 99 there?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think it's good because now,
Really?
yeah, because you got like an hour and 26 minutes left. So if you run an hour on fuel, you got 26 minutes, which is really, you know, half a tank. The driver change would slow you down.
Yep.
So I would think that's why they're doing that. But I think, you know, talking to those guys to explain would be great.
Yeah, no, I'm going to. I just, I don't know, gave up a lot of track position.
Well, I think they had a bad pit stop too, didn't they, Chris?
Yeah, Fogarty stalled it, leaving pit lane. So
Yeah.
he gave up 2-3 spots.
Yeah.
That looks like gearbox oil, boys, on the 59. It is.
Here's a car that'll be a lot of fun for somebody.
If you're thinking about turning your car into money and you're looking for excitement, think Las Vegas. Real buyers, real sellers, level playing field.
This is Barrett Jackson, Las Vegas style.
There'll be more eyes on your car than any venue on the planet.
All right, it's up for sale.
If you really want to be a part of the stimulus package, be a part of Barrett Jackson Las Vegas 2009.
Only on Speed. Starts October 7th.
Back at the Glen for the short course race and back right in time to see the green flag fly. End of our one and only full course caution. And it's Timo Bernard in the Verizon Porsche for Penske Racing. It leads the way over Memo Rojas in second. Brian Frizzell is third. We ride with Frizzell now.
Well, certainly Penske are out there, but they only have a few minutes left, Lee, to get that mandatory pit stop done. We talk about the 30-minute rule for points. Big crash there. Major damage to the front end.
And that is the gentleman, Jack Crawford.
Oh, that's a shame. That's the look at the damage done to that car. They'll try to make it back to the pits, but it's going to lose a lot of its body pieces.
It's going to be dangerous out there because those bodywork shards are going to be everywhere, Dorsey.
We're going to go under full course yellow again.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a very good call. With that kind of stuff out there, you just can't take any risk.
So you will see the Penske boys dive for pit road now. This will assist them. And Timo will bring that Verizon car to pit road. Here's what happened. Look at the black and white car on the outside of your screen here.
Oh, nowhere to go. You just can't do three there.
He hops the curb, Dorsey, loses the car, comes across the racetrack, and I think that was the Coyote that speared into him. Watch him. Loses the rear end, comes right across.
Oh, boy.
There's the view from the 70 Speed Source Mazda of Nick Ham. Watch this. Watch up ahead.
See the black car out to the outside, comes back across, and that's Antonio Garcia in the 90 machine, just clobbers him, had nowhere to go.
Boy, oh boy. The drivers were warned about one of the changes here for this weekend is all the curbs have been painted freshly, and there's no rubber on them. And, of course, when he got up on that curb, pushed over there, because there was two cars inside him, you saw what happened. It just broke free.
Rob Finlay is doing his best to get back to pit road as safely as possible.
I tell you what, though, with all respect to Rob, with the amount of damage that he can see right in front of him, he should have pulled it off, Dorsey.
Yeah, now he's got fluid. He's done the radiator as well because the tire's rubbing on it. So now we're going to have a track cleanup.
All right, while he makes his way back, let's get down to pit lane. Let's hear from John Fogarty.
Well, Lee, while we were away at that last commercial, the 99 came back to pit lane. They did do a driver change, so Alex Gurney now behind the wheel. John, interesting strategy there. Obviously, you couldn't make the driver change the first time around because we weren't over the 30 minutes, but why did you give up the track position?
Well, it looked like we were going to be going green, and then the pace car turned on its lights in the last two corners. And the 30 minutes had elapsed by that point, so it was an opportunity to do the driver change and get it over with and hopefully have a quick stop on our last stop. Not a great stint opening up. Obviously, we got the two cars that we didn't want to get in front of us. So Alex has got his work cut out for it, but the Gainesco Auto Insurance car is pretty good. And I think if we're running clear and we get breaks in traffic, we certainly have a shot at it.
Looked like you got caught up behind one of the other competitors out there. The 10 got around you. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. Pew, obviously, I guess, was probably told by his team not to go a lap down to give Valiente a chance to win here. So he blocked me coming out of the S's, and I just didn't have a run on him and was stuck behind him, and the 10 had the inside, so it was all I could do.
These guys going with a little bit different strategy. Brian, what do you have at your end?
Well, I got a very significantly damaged race car. Chris, you talked about all the development that has been done to this new Crawford chassis, and indeed they have improved, as you talked about earlier in the race, but this car now definitely out of commission. Significant damage to the right front suspension collapsed, the lower arm actually cut in half, and obviously the splitter damaged as well. So even after the high hopes that they entered this weekend with, disappointment now early in the going here. And also see the 12, our leader, coming down pit road.
Here comes Timo Bernard.
This is a big break for these guys because they were going to have to pit under green here in just a few minutes, and now this is a give me to them.
The countdown clock on your screen, folks. If you're new to Grand Am competition, mandatory stop must happen within that first 45 minutes. Brian Till's on the spot. Go, Bri.
Penske organization going to work. I talked to John Erickson after that last full course caution. I said, John, what are you doing? He just kind of raised his eyebrows and said, it'll be okay. Now, I mean, you couldn't have gotten a caution at any better time. They needed to come in. It'll be 4 new tires, and Romain Dumas getting in the car says his foot is feeling much better after the problems and the crash he had at Barber, and they're back underway. Chris?
9 to 61 also in. Burt Frizzell getting out. Mark Wilkins, one of the race winners from last year, getting behind the wheel. This team's been very fast this weekend. However, they've had a little bit of a problem with a fuel pump. They think they've got a little bit of a short in their wiring loom, so that pump keeps shorting out. Now, the reserve pump does work, so if they do have that problem with that main pump, they can go to reserve. The problem with a reserve pump is when you're out of fuel, your game is over.
So those teams that needed to pit have. We'll reshuffle things. We'll regroup and go racing when we come back. You're watching Grand Am on Speed. The 5-year drought is finally over. It's the Brumos Porsche. David Donahue and Darren Moore get the victory. It's close though.
Oh, he's out of fuel.
Oh, can you believe it? Can you believe it? But the Canadians get it.
Wilkins wins this race.
Oh my goodness.
No, they got robbed. Dramatic scenes up in Canada last year, and we're heading back in 3 weeks' time to the legendary Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. More wonderful Grand Am action to come. We look forward to that each and every year, and you'll see it right here on Speed. That's in 3 weeks' time. Montreal for the next round, round 10 of the Rolex Sports Car Series. Daytona Prototypes GT cars in action, sharing the track with the NASCAR Nationwide Series again this year. We look forward to a Saturday race this year, though, instead of Friday. We're back racing here at the Glen, though, and the 01, the defending champions, lead this race. Memo Rojas over Brian Frizzell. Both those teams still need to perform a driver change.
Look at Rojas there, very late on the brakes, almost locking up the res as he turns in. He's feeling the pressure from Brian Frizzell. This car's been hooked up in the early part of the race, Dorsey.
And Brian is set up for a good run down the straightaway, maybe a drafting possibility as they break for that inner loop.
How about Ricky Taylor running third for the Bayer Boys Racing organization? They're doing well, and so too Ricardo Zonta. Remember, we've spoken about it. Calvin said earlier, with Krone Racing, they're not all that worried. Oh, speaking about Bayer Racing, the 5, the Crawford, is off track.
And it brings the full course, the reason being it's high centered. In other words, the center of the chassis is up and it's above the wheels on the ground, so it's stuck.
I'll tell you what, this is helping out guys like Gurney, who made that pit stop to get in the car, and they're just sneaking up in the order. Meanwhile, remember, when the 01 and the 10 car...
Okay.
Good time to chew up time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Brian, give us a thumbs up if you still got Kurt down there.
That was some of Lee's best stuff, too.
All right, mate.
Okay, we're going to give you one more shot at calling the end of this race correctly. Okay. This is the last go.
Look at this. That's where he got clobbered from.
Yeah. They got the rear
they
deck
can't
up.
Run that like that.
No, it'll blow right out of there.
Off. Done enough damage to that thing this year.
But that can
That's
probably...
a shame. These guys were going to be good today. That really hurts. They're still on the lead lap. I mean, if it didn't get into that left rear tire, Dorsey, and they can get...
I know, and for the impact...
Take a clap.
That's what I was going to say. For the impact, if it's not hurt...
Yeah, but look, they're looking at something in the drive shaft or diff or something.
It took a good clout, though.
God, that's too bad. That is really frustrating.
Car's running good, though.
I tell you, they're going to...
do well.
They're going to sneak one in this year, I think.
They can. I mean, they had it all set up right perfectly there. They got the driver change done, and plenty of time left.
They're done.
What are they doing? They're saying it's all over. Yep.
Yeah. That really hurts.
They DNF'd early at the 6 hour too. So Watkins Glen has not been good.
Jordan must have spun on the before they went back to green.
That's right.
And it weren't. Well, it depends where he's pitted in pit lane. It shows that he'd done one lap, but I don't know whether he'd just passed the stripe in pit lane to show that he'd done one or not. So it could have been his out lap.
Break your little special bar out, mate. Getting a bit peckish.
That's for me.
Hey?
That's for me.
What?
Grapes?
Especially monitored.
Hey, look at this. Look at this.
Highly dissected.
Look who's gone in.
There you go.
This will be a driver change. Pruitt's in.
This is the leader.
There we go.
Okay, we've got an hour and 13 left. Can they stretch the fuel?
That's cutting it close. I think they'll get a caution.
99 and 61 also coming, guys. So I think all these guys are thinking they can stretch the fuel.
Yeah.
One more caution. They got it easy.
Yeah,
99
exactly.
will jump these guys because all they're doing is topping up with fuel.
They're going to top up in tires.
Go for it.
But they're gonna no. 01 beat him. 01's out.
Oh wow!
Someone check the fuel rig.
Did the 99
61's gonna leapfrog the 99.
Did the 99 not take tires when Gurney got in then, Chris? I thought they did.
No, they did take tires.
Why are they changing again, for God's sake?
You know
if they got bump set. That's weird, Chris. So they changed tires twice in about 5 laps, right?
Yep. I think they just wanted to make sure they were kind of resetting with everybody else.
Yeah, but
track position.
This will be interesting. Bushu in behind those guys.
He's on the lead lap.
He's on the lead lap, so it's the order will be Pruitt, Wilkins, Gurney, Bouchou.
That's going to be serious.
Yes. Okay, cool.
That's going to be serious.
Cal, they just wanted fresh tires like everybody else.
Wow.
Playing that guy, I would have rather have track position.
I would have taken the track position.
Yeah, the 61 did not take tires, so they got around the 99.
Yeah.
So hard to get by here.
Interesting.
But there's a long way to go.
And the 10 is still out there.
And I'll tell you what it does because of when they did it, the 12 car is actually in front of them and essentially on the same strategy now. I tell you, he will be just sitting there thinking, are we good or are we not, is Wayne. Because Brian stayed out. They'll be like, are we doing the right thing or are we doing the wrong thing here?
The 5-year drought is finally over. It's the Brumos Porsche. David Donahue and Darren Law get the victory. It's close though.
Oh, he's out of fuel!
Oh,
Out of fuel!
Can you believe it? But the Canadians get it.
Wilkins wins this race.
Oh my goodness.
No, they got robbed. And we head back to the legendary Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in 3 weeks' time for more high drama in Grand Am Rolex Sports Car Series competition. We're looking forward to it. So too are the Canadian motorsports fans. And both classes on track. As always, we're sharing the track that weekend with the NASCAR Nationwide Series. So Montreal in 3 weeks' time, but for right here, right now, we're talking about Watkins Glen International and the Friday night fast race on the short course. While we're away, there were a flurry of pit stops under this full course caution. We had a driver change. The 01, check this out. 01, Memo Rojas steps out. Scott Pruitt dives in. They beat the 99 out. So too does the AIM Autosport Ford-powered Riley. The 99 go for a fresh set of tyres as well, and they come out in line. So we go back to green with the 10 of Brian Frizzell. The SunTrust Dallara for Wayne Taylor Racing out in front. Wayne Taylor's eldest son, Ricky, is in second position for Bayer Racing. And then it's Ricardo Zonta, the former F1 driver for Krone Racing, in third.
Well, look for that Lola to come alive. They've certainly shown a lot of form this year, Dorsey. Not consistent like they hoped, but on occasion, Zonta has just been a flying machine. They had that great win in the rain at New Jersey, of course, early in this season. Had a little bit of bad luck, but this car can be quick on occasion.
Brian Frizzell right now finally has clear air. He has nobody in front of him. He's going to make a run.
More on the 13, Brian.
Yeah, what a great job Ricky Taylor, that entire team is doing all weekend long. The Bayer Racing team, the Cape brothers helping take care of that car. We talked about it after qualifying, guys. They started this race, I believe, in 5th. And you talk about Ricky Taylor and a young team and a young driver doing well. They've dotted their I's, crossed their T's. They're not doing anything fancy, and you don't have to in this series. If you do it all right, you can run up front, and that's exactly what Ricky Taylor's doing right now, Lee.
Yeah, best qualifying this year for that number 13 Chevrolet-powered Riley, with this young man behind the wheel and Mike Forrest. First time for Mike returning to a track where he's had Daytona prototype experience before.
Think about this for Wayne Taylor right now. His car leads, his son is second, and the driver that he manages is third.
Got it all under control.
So far, it's a good day for him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
pretty cool.
There is the man himself. Now, behind these boys, the 59 of Joao Barbosa is 4th. Dumas is 5th. Dial is 6th. Then it's Scott Pruitt, Mamo Gidley, Alex Gurney, Mark Wilkins. That's the top 10. And in GT, Lux, Ham, Espenlaub. Like that. Let's talk more about Daytona prototypes and Team Penske.
Just talked about Romain Dumas being 5th. Timo Bernhard just climbed out of that car. Timo, a little bit of a different car than when you were last here. You got that gear back. You got your RPM back. How's the car today?
Well, the car was a little bit better than yesterday in qualifying. From the performance, it was quite okay. I mean, our quickest lap time was, I think, second or third quickest overall. But the problem is I lost something in traffic. That's why I had quite a bit of a gap. And then all the time accelerating in the traffic. I have no torque, so that's the biggest difference with the V8s. But we're hanging in there. And Romain, I hope, will do a good job. And Penske Racing and Roger will do the good strategy. And I hope we come back.
And they say they're hanging in there. They're hanging in the championship too, guys, because after those penalties at Barber Motorsports Park, they're good in fourth. Kurt Busch, anytime you come to Watkins Glen and the Cup guys are here, they're going to come out and watch. And Kurt, I know you're an interested bystander here watching the car. Been talking to Roger about maybe getting back into one. I know you've been in one before.
It's a blast to drive these things and just checking out the different principles of racing. Each car has its own discipline. These guys are having fun out there, and you know, I'm always chomping at the bit to jump in any car I can, and really thoroughly enjoy the Grand Am Series. And now NASCAR is more involved. You never know, might get a chance to jump in some more. But Roger's a great guy. I love hanging out and watching him.
A real racer. He wants to watch anything and drive anything, Chris.
Well, guys, keep an eye on that 59 car. Talk about a team that's having a great run here. In just the last hour, this team went from having to start in pit lane because the transmission oil cooler exploded on the recon lap, so they had to replace that. They didn't make it to the grid, so that means they started on pit lane behind everybody, but they've worked their way back up to fourth place right now. They are one of the teams that will have to come back to pit lane and make one more stop because I don't think they can go the distance.
There's a lot of pride on the line with the teams that run Porsche power plants. Who is going to be the best finishing Porsche team? And you're looking at it right here. Porsche, Riley, and two legendary teams, Penske and Brumos. João Barbosa up against Romain Dumas, the Portuguese driver and the Frenchman. Two very fast sports car drivers, globally speaking.
The only difference between these two cars, other than the setup, of course, is that the Brumos cars, and the 61 car there, Mark Watkins had to bump his way through.
And it opened the door. This is the lead for GT. The 70 has taken over the lead. That is, of course, the Speed Source Mazda.
And what a comeback for the 86, too, after being hammered by Nick Johnson earlier, being spun. Eric Lux went into the wall, came back. Good strategy by Steve Cosgrove, the crew chief for the 86. He's being swamped by DPs everywhere. And through on the inside goes the 77
Lux
and the 55.
goes to the inside. He tries to take the lead. That was a desperate move, Dorsey.
And I got hit like that. I knew that was going to happen when he turned in there because there's a big curb there, Calvin. Once you hit it, you're airborne, and the brakes don't work when they're in the air.
Lux and Ham come together. And look, Eric's trying to get it going again. What's happened to Nick Ham? This is where he came to grief in qualifying as well.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what. I bet there'll be a little penalty for that one. Take a look at this car, though. Is it okay or not?
Well, he took a rough hit there, but boy, I mean, he was trying to take advantage. Nick was getting caught up with that DP traffic as they went into the chicane. Take a look. Eric just dives to the inside, goes over that curb, Dorsey, and just T-bones him.
See, I tell you, you cannot stop. Once you've dropped your wheels in the grass or on that curb, see it again here. Desperate move. Inside he goes. Now, listen, boom. There's just no way that was not going to happen.
Let's ride with Nick Ham. Let's see it from his point of view. Listen. Not exactly subtle.
I would say not. He was truly down at the apex. There was nowhere for anybody to get underneath him. And, of course, now we're going to get that drive-through penalty. The 86 will be coming through because that was definitely avoidable contact.
Guys, little bit of damage down on the rocker on the right side, but Nick Ham was telling the team, I think everything's okay. They're going to take a little bit of time to look at this right rear corner. Oh, looks like they're realizing that they've got a little bit of tire rub, so they've got to bang out some of the body work from that wheel well on the right rear corner. Listening to the team when Nick was coming to pit lane, he was saying, guys, I got to come in, I got to come in. The team said, hey, where's Sylvain? We got to get him behind the wheel. So Sylvain Tremblay was not in pit lane. He is now, but it's too late. He's not going to be able to get behind the wheel.
And while one Mazda team is hurting, the other one is celebrating. And I'm talking about Patrick Dempsey's team. Dempsey Racing, with Charles Espinal behind the wheel, has now inherited the lead of the GT class. There's a big story to tell there, and we'll update you on that when we come back. The replay of the big slam. Here it is. Want to tell you about the World of Outlaws in Eldora, and it's at Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on Speed. Yes, sprint cars returning to Speed, your home of motorsport, next Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. I want to tell you, too, about the Knoxville Nationals, 10 Eastern, next Saturday, right here on Speed. Romain Dumas has come to pit road. Brian is there.
Lee, they just topped him up with fuel, but they also took a moment to check the left front wheel nut because on that last stop, not a lot of pressure in the gun. They wanted to make sure it was tight, so they checked that at the same time they filled him with fuel, and he's back underway.
I think the key is here that they are the first of the front runners to maybe make their final stop. So if there is a caution, remember, pit lane closes, and they can take advantage of that situation.
We've been asking the question continually, is this the round that the Penske Racing organization will win in Grand Am for the very first time? They've been on the podium twice. Can they go all the way to the top? GT, I said there was a great story behind Dempsey Racing. Charles Espinlale, they found out that Patrick couldn't make it because of his filming commitments with not only Grey's Anatomy but a new movie. So Charles is racing in Speed World Challenge in Mid-Ohio this weekend. He drove all the way from Mid-Ohio down here to Watkins Glen to do this race, to fill in for Patrick. Then he's going to drive all the way back to do his Speed World Challenge commitments this weekend. He leads class. But how about the new team running in second place?
That's fantastic. The 48 machine. Kevin Roush behind the wheel, the Miller Barrett Racing team. Bryce Miller has put this team together with his father. Eric Barrett is an engineer on the car, and he was a crew chief with Paul Miller on his Trans Am team, Dorsey. You may know this guy for 23 years as a mechanic there. They're doing their own thing, and boy, are they impressing on their debut.
Talked to Paul Miller yesterday. Hadn't seen him in years. It was good to see him. He said, you know what? If these guys can stay out of trouble, we're not going to win this thing, but we're going to just try to get a good finish. I'd beg to differ. He might be able to win this thing.
And they're on the same strategy as all of the top 5 front-running cars in GT, so it's not through strategy has gotten there. They all pitted on the same lap. This is legit.
Brian, tell us more about this new team.
Well, Kevin Roush, too, is very, very good here at Watkins Glen. He ran up front just a couple of years ago in a Porsche around this racetrack. He knows how to get it done. But they did have to change the differential this morning, and they did not have first gear when they went out for the warm-up laps. That's not a problem unless you're doing a pit stop because you don't use first gear anywhere around here. But, guys, as you well know, if you lose something in the gearbox and there's a part that's floating around in there because you broke a tooth off a gear, it's just a matter of time. Chris?
Well, Lee, you were talking about the 40 earlier, and this team was not happy with that car setup. I was talking with Joe Foster yesterday, and he and their engineer were just pouring over data because they weren't happy with the car at all. I just checked in with Joe, and he said, you know, we kind of threw the kitchen sink at it, and I'm not sure that it's the fastest car out there. We're just really good in traffic. And you were talking about the movie that Patrick Dempsey is working on. He's working on that with Julia Roberts and Ashton Kutcher. So I don't know, guys, hanging out at the racetrack with a bunch of sweaty guys or hanging out with Julia Roberts, I think I'd go for Julia Roberts. And you guys can see the SunTrust car is now in. These guys are kind of out in an island all by themselves with the strategy that they were on. So now they have to come in under green flag stop. And remember, the lap time here is about a minute 3, a minute 4. It's 28 seconds down pit lane, about 35 seconds in the box to fill up the car. So there's a good chance that this team is going to be very close to going a lap down.
Well, the key was there, Chris, they didn't need a full fuel load because it wasn't empty, so the driver changes were going to hold you up a little bit. But only 2 or 3 seconds it looked like was lost there. But they had to come in. Remember, they're leading the race. They lost the race at Mid-Ohio by the race going to caution and pit lane being closed. So Wayne Taylor and the boys, once bitten, twice shy, Dorsey.
You got that right. You know, they're doing it. They're playing a strategy that might work at the end here. In the meantime, look at all these guys. There's the 13. That's the overall leader. Young Ricky Taylor is leading this race.
And what an impressive performance by he and this Bayer Racing team as he negotiates GT traffic as well. That's the 07 car there. They'd have a change of driver lineup this weekend. Kelly Collins is driving, but his usual teammate Paul Edwards had a mountain bike accident. He's out of action for this race, maybe more. So Leighton Reese dusted off his overalls and took over the opening stint and did a great job yesterday in qualifying, by the way.
Actually dusted off Edwards' overalls. It was quite a feat getting those on. Yep. But he did a great job in qualifying, like you say.
Paul Edwards is here this weekend with a sling on his arm. The 59 has come in. Joao Barbosa behind the wheel. This car was running second. So Scott Pruitt now moves up another position into that spot. What does the 59 have for us here today? Solid run after 2 hiccup rounds. They've had 4 consecutive top 10 results. So we'll see what the famous 59 can do here today.
And again, we're seeing a bunch of the front-running cars making that final start. Once you get under the hour mark to go, Dorsey, you should be good on fuel. Hopefully not see pit lane again today.
Barbosa with 55 minutes to run. Let's talk more about the 07, and Leighton Reese is standing by.
Well, you guys are talking about Leighton Reese getting back behind the wheel and also fitting in Paul Edwards' suit. You know, Leighton, I'm pretty surprised. You look good in this thing.
Well, I'm in pretty good shape for an old guy, but this suit fits Paul like a potato sack, so it's not that much of a victory. But we're having fun out there. Kelly's doing a good job, and hoping to get the drinking mate and car home on the podium.
Couple different rumors out there about Paul. He told me he was just riding his bike to the grocery store and an old lady hit him. Is that true?
Nah, it's a real shame. Paul's such a great athlete, and he trains really hard, rides the mountain bike up the mountain. His wife brings him a backpack full of water, and he goes the rest of the way up. I mean, he's in such physical, fantastic condition. He just crashed coming down. That's all. So it's a real bummer, but we'll get through it, and hopefully he'll be back for Montreal.
Yeah, he said he's going to be doing a lot of therapy between now and then. He's hopeful, but he tore a lot of ligaments in his shoulder, so he's very questionable for Montreal. Brian, what do you have?
Ryan Dalziel was just in the orbit, BMW Riley. The team down here was willing to roll the dice. They looked at it, and they said, we got to bring him in because we can make it to the distance on map 3, on fuel map 3, but we can't go fast enough. We're getting past, so they had to dive to pit road. Ryan Dalziel now has enough fuel to make it to the end, and he is rocket fast, guys.
I wonder if there's any truth to the rumor that Leighton's wearing a girdle. I was trying to get to Chris to ask him that. Oh, boy.
01 is in. Pruitt in second place at the time of this stop. This will be the final one.
This will be quick. This will just be a quick splash. Chris?
Guys, the 01 and the 99, these two teams, obviously they were trying to roll the dice, see if they can make it with those last stops, but now, as much green flag racing as we've had, they realize they can't do it. And it's a big question. The 01 beats the 99 out, but the big question, guys, talking to the 61 guys this weekend, they really felt they could stretch their fuel. They came in on that last stop when there was an hour 15 left. Big question, if they get one caution, I think they're good to go.
The two teams at the center of the controversy post Barber Motorsports Park breaking the rules for the refueling equipment, and they're in the hunt once again. Young Ricky Taylor in the Lennox-sponsored Chevrolet-powered Riley continues to lead this race over Mark Wilkins and Christophe Bouchou. beautiful evening here in upstate New York. We wind on with round 9 of the Grand Am Rolex Sports Car Series. Need to remind you once again about the Chip Foose Pirelli Edition Ford Flex giveaway. You can win this marvelous car designed by Chip Foose. All you have to do is identify the key code word and go to grandam.com/Foose. Enter the code word for a chance to have a chance to win this car. We wish you well. All right, when we went to the break, we showed you Gainsco, Ganassi, the battle on pit road, and here it really is, the tail of the tape for these two championship-winning teams. And we'll see who comes out on top at the end of the 2009 season. We'll see who comes out on top tonight. Remember, they are tied in the championship point standings coming in to this round.
And the battle's going to go down to the wire, we would have to think. But a little bit ago in the race, the 99 car, who remember got leapfrogged by the 01 in pit lane. Suddenly they were trying to fight their way through traffic doors. They come up to the inner loop, and suddenly there was some drama for the 99 car. We hope that he got away with it.
It always seems to happen up here at this inner loop area. You see here the two cars, the Daytona prototypes, screen left. But watch, the 84 and the 99 bump there. 84 goes straight across grass. I don't think there'll be a penalty, actually, over this thing. The 84, as you remember, was involved earlier on in a crash, and he was being lapped again. So I don't think there'll be an infringement there.
Now the gap was narrowing as John got in there. He thought about going over the curb, thought better of it, jinked to the left a little bit, and there was contact there. So hopefully no damage to the left rear of John Fogarty's car.
Actually looks pretty good. I've been looking at that, Calvin. There's no smoke whatsoever. Not hardly even a mark.
Of course, there's Gurney behind the wheel right now.
Best of the front-running cars could very well be the 76 of Ricardo Zonta. That car has already pitted for the final time. That was some 9-10 laps ago for Zonta, and he is there in the zone. We'll want to keep an eye on the green machine. They've had a first and a second this year. They know that they're not close enough to go for the championship. So is that Krone car in the hunt today is the question that needs to be answered. I think so.
I think so, particularly when you look at how many laps are on the board since their last stop. They have 10 laps on the board, and everyone ahead of them has 10 plus more over that number, so they're certainly in a lot better shape. The lead four cars right now, Ricky Taylor, Bouchou, Wilkins, and Gidley, all need help with caution. Zonta may be able to stretch it.
As they work their way through GT traffic, the top Daytona prototype cars, the AIM Autosport car has certainly been in the mix today. Mark Wilkins is now behind the wheel, taken over from Bert Frizzell. Let's go to their team now.
Yeah, Lee, you got to keep an eye on these guys because they won the race last year. Ian Willis calling the shots up on the box. Ian, you came in the last time with the 99 and the 01. We just saw them come back to pit lane. Are you going to try and stretch it?
We're going to gamble a bit here. We need a yellow.
How much yellow do you need?
Right now, it looks like at least one for sure, maybe two.
Now, guys, looking at the first part of this race, I would be definite that we were going to have another two cautions, but we've been caution-free for a while. Brian?
I think another team that might be looking for a caution is the 55, Scott Tucker down here at Supercar Life. Bouchou's having a great run right now without a caution. Can you guys make it to the checkered?
Yeah, that's what we're being told, but you just never know. You never know. It's close. It's real close.
I know the car's running really well. You guys have certainly had the speed. Keep us up to date. The last time we were here at Watkins Glen, we talked about Ferrari. Where's that sit right now?
It's coming along nicely.
Coming along nicely, guys. Hopefully we'll see it soon. But right now, the BMW is flying, Lee.
And have a look at this. Speaking of flying, the battle is on. Romain Dumas up against Scott Pruitt. You couldn't ask for it to be any better. Currently, the guys are 6th and 7th, respectively, and Pruitt is putting the pressure on.
He is flying. The speed he had there through the inner loop, he really had like 2 or 3 miles an hour on the Penske machine as they exited, Dorsey.
But I tell you what, these are the guys that, without a caution happening, these are the guys that could be the leaders, I believe. You know,
Ricky Taylor is still out in front. Ricky needs to pit and hand over to Mike Forrest. That has not yet happened.
Here's the good opportunity for Pruitt. Get a good run down this front straightaway. You see already they're starting to get defensive, going over toward the inside.
Pruitt talks about how trimmed out they run this car when they come through for the first turn here. If he can get a good run up through the S's, he may be in position as they get on the brakes for the inner loop to take advantage here. Traffic ahead.
Boy, and Dumas goes defensive as soon as he sees something coming. Watch right here. When he passes this car, he'll go right to the right side of the track.
Watch Pruitt, though. He should be coming hard right now.
Dumas defends. He's making life difficult for the two-time Daytona Prototype Grand Am champion.
Scott, oh, there's a good move right there. Gets to the inside if he can stay there. Scott's a very clean driver. He's not someone to rough anyone up.
And remember, he's got to think big picture. He's got a championship on his mind, certainly for Dumas and Timo Bernhard. That's a long shot right now.
Yeah, mathematically, they're still in it, aren't they, with 3 rounds remaining after we leave Watkins Glen here tonight. Brian?
Well, Dumas definitely driving a bit defensively, but also, guys, they have struggled with an understeer all weekend long. I talked to Timo Bernhard about it earlier. I said, is it a corner entry in the middle or the exit? And he said, yes, and they've never gotten it sorted out.
Of course, understeers, when you turn the steering wheel, the car continues to go straight. When Scott Pruitt realizes that's the issue, he'll start running him hard into every corner. The harder he runs him in the corner, the car's going faster, and it won't turn even more yet.
Well, the team were making big suspension changes. I went over there this morning. The team were changing the front A-arms on the front of that Penske, so they were looking for front-end grip to try and get that car sorted out. But with no track activity today prior to the green flag, tough to do and get it right.
Pruitt letting that traffic know that he is coming through. Let's go to the Ganassi team.
Well, Mabel Rojas has been up on the box watching our images. You're watching your teammate out there. Now you guys are in the lead. You're the lead car in the championship. How hard is Scott going to try and push around this Penske car?
Well, we know that the priority is the championship right now. We're not going to take any chances that would put in risk the championship, that's for sure. If we can get a win, obviously that would be the best scenario, but the priority is the championship.
Trying not to make any risks out there, but he's looked like he's running pretty hard.
Well, you know, Scott's a veteran. He's an old wolf, and he knows what he's doing. So I have no doubt he'll take care of the car.
I'm surprised to hear him say Scott's going to be thinking about the championship, because every time you talk to Scott Pruitt, he says, I just want to win.
Speaking of the championship, that is appropriate as we show you the points as they stand. Keep in mind the 01 Ganassi team and the 99 Gainsco team tied coming into this race. The Ganassi boys would have a 1-point advantage. How close this is as we head to Montreal in 3 weeks' time, but this thing's not done yet. Want to remind you about the Sunoco Driver Challenge. This is a very enticing competition for drivers in the UK who take part in those 4 championships on your screen right now. And whoever amasses the most points over the year, well, there's a pretty big carrot dangling for them. They will get a drive in a Daytona prototype at the 2010 Rolex 24 at Daytona. It certainly is a great prize. We've had a variety of guys at the top of this championship and this competition throughout the year.
And this is the average point score. This is not the total. So this is their average. So you need to divide their total by the amount of races done. And Rob Garofalo had a great weekend at Brands Hatch and now has really stretched that lead, looking in good shape.
And look at the variety of championships. The Speed Radical GT in the top 3 positions. Here is Ricky Taylor, race leader. However, he will not stay there. He needs to come in and give some time in the car to his co-driver, Mike Forrest. But boy, this young man has done a great job out front in the Lennox Riley.
Good to see him up there. He's got some grass in the radiator, too. But that's the least of his problems. He's going to need fuel, Calvin.
He's going to need fuel. Now, remember, they can play with a strategy, too. They're really not in the hunt for the championship, so there's 40 minutes to go. You would think within 10 minutes they'd need to stop for Mike Forrest to get his 30 minutes in. They may sacrifice that a little bit, try and just stretch it, roll the dice a little bit, see if they get some more caution.
Good stuff. One team that is looking strong on fuel and on speed is the Krone Racing team. Let's go there.
Another top 5 run for Krone Racing. Nick Janssen, you got out of the car. This car seems to race much better than it's qualifying. So you guys found the handle on what the problem is in qualifying yet?
I can't say we found a problem per se, but we changed the car around again for the race. And as you said, we normally find a good start for the race. We cannot just go and run in circles sometimes. And the car is very sensitive, but when the car is good, it's very good. And I think we have a very good car tonight.
It certainly looks good right now. The question is, how much fuel is in the tank? Can you guys make it to the checkered without a full course caution?
Yeah, I think we should be able to. I mean, that's why we pitted them when we did, because we cannot be calculated on that should be able to go 58 minutes on the tank, and we pitted was 57 minutes to go, so we should be good. Cross our fingers, but it should be all right.
They're keeping their fingers crossed. Now remember, so is the 55 guys, but I just saw him come down pit road, so Scott Tucker's team had to come for fuel.
Oh, Zonta squeezes through on the inside of the Matt Connolly Pontiac. A little bit of a hip check, and the Pontiac's able to return to the racing surface. And if you look at the third car in shot, right there is the new leader in GT. Kevin Roush has gone to the top. The 69 is in.
Yeah, Jeff Siegel taking fuel. They got the tires done. Good pit stop by the 69 team. This team won the 6-hour race back in 2008. Talking to the team this week, and they said Jeff is just really magic around this place. He's so fast, but because of their pit strategy, they're getting cycled back a bit.
There's your GT leader, 48, Kevin Roush, in the new team. What a way to come out and say we're here to race.
It is. They're doing a great job, and he's trying to clear Diego Alessi. Great to see him back in the Matt Connolly machine. He had a great season in 2008. Didn't do all the races, but got on the podium 3 times. So he knows how to make that car tick.
This GT battle is fantastic, really is. I mean, these guys are duking it out, never far apart from one another, that's for sure.
Have a look who's second as 65, former series champion Craig Stanton has taken over from John Potter, and Craig is in the mix, flying the flag for TRG.
Just neat to see a new team, some new guys, new faces to do this well. They weren't expecting to, I can tell you that after talking to them. They just wanted a good finish. Well, I think if they can keep this up, they'll have a great finish.
Well, I tell you what, if they're smart, they need to make a pit stop here because they could get caught out. They're leading. They're in good shape. They were right on the same strategy as everyone else, but I don't think they can make it on fuel. And if it goes caution, pit lane will be closed. They will get hurt by that in terms of track position.
Hey, speaking of TRG, while that runner is running second with Craig Stanton, I need to update you about what happened with former championship leader Spencer Pumpelly. He did not do 30 minutes in the 57 Stevenson machine, so it was more Spencer doing the Stevenson group a favor because 2 drivers need to perform duties in a car in a Grand Am race. Pruitt on the inside of Romain Dumas.
He'll get him this time. That's a great move right there. Got the nose underneath. He'll out-drag race him to this next corner.
Yeah, but remember, Dumas going to be in on the inside, and there's GT traffic ahead. What can Pruitt do? He gets boxed out there.
Oh,
that
boy,
was tight. Now he's going to go to the outside. He'll be on the inside for the next corner. No, he's not. Dumas defends. This is great stuff.
Hard, fast, clean racing.
This is
That's
a better,
what we like to see.
Better run by Pruitt. He can move to the inside off this draft. And he knew it. He moves and blocks it.
Look who's looming. Here comes Alex Gurney. Now Scott dives to the inside. It's a breaking duel. Romain's equally as good, though.
And remember, Pruitt had not really raced against this driver before this year. With Dumas and Bernard switching over to the Grand Am Series full-time, suddenly Dumas is learning all about this driver. He is hard, Dorsey.
Yeah, he's hard. You're not kidding. But Scott's hard, too, and he knows all the angles around this racetrack.
They're helping Alex Gurney because here comes the Red Dragon. The Gainsco machine is not done yet. There's the 99. In the background, too, is the 10 of Max Angelelli and David Donohue, and the 58. On the inside, Pruitt wants another shot at him. Same position as before.
This is helping Gurney, though. Look at the 99. It's coming strong.
Pruitt just flies off that inner loop and is able to hold the car down at the inside. Dumas having to use more of the road there to keep that exit speed.
55, Christophe Boucher was in the mix.
Pruitt, what a move there to get by. Forces the way through without trading paint. Beautiful move.
Now watch Gurney. He's got to capitalize and get by right away, too. He's got to go by Dumas and go after Pruitt.
I believe these are for podium finishes here tonight. I think Zonta is in great shape here, fuel-wise and track position-wise. This could be for the final spot on the podium between Gurney and Dumas.
Watch in the background, though, the 55 car of Christophe Bouchou is flying. He is coming in that BMW-powered Riley for Supercar Life. Here is the Frenchman, the former Le Mans 24 winner and Rolex 24 winner. He's on a mission.
He's unhindered because he's not having to race anybody. The guys up front, those three, are leaning on each other. Now they've got traffic to deal with.
And wait till Bouchou catches Romain Dumas. They have a little bit of history. Remember Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca? Mr. Penske wasn't happy with Mr. Bouchou. It's all coming up here on Speed. Grand Am action couldn't be better as we race not only each other, but the daylight as well. Yes. That's what this event's all about.
Well, supposedly Roger and Christophe went nose to nose after that race. Roger wasn't really thinking that he was very respectful, and he said, hey, I have a fast car, I'm going to go for it. He is a racer, and he's coming hard, does. He's got plenty of fuel now.
He does, and Alex Gurney's the desperate one of anybody right now. He's got to find a way around because he does have Bouchou coming.
We need to squeeze in a break. Things are just starting to boil, and we're running out of time and laps. Don't go anywhere. Who's going to win this one? Will it be Zonta? Will it be Pruitt?
Hey, guys.
Hello. Hello. There he is.
Hello.
There we are.
Yep.
Hey, I don't know if you can really see it from your angle, but just watching the cars come out of the front straightaway here, when Pruitt was behind the 12 and now that he's gotten through, that car just is launching off the corners.
Oh.
The 12 car is just, it's fast through the center of the corner, but it's not getting off.
Yeah.
And so now that Pruitt's gotten by, I mean, he's just taken off. And that, whatever they've done to that car, it just sits down coming off the corner, and it's gone.
It does. The mid-corner speed is up on the 12 car for sure, Chris. He was flying through that inner loop, as you may have seen as well.
Yep.
Here comes Gurney.
I think we need to clarify if we ever get back on it. Davis rat checked. He will be good for points, even though the other driver didn't do 30. It doesn't affect his points in the championship.
And Bouchou and Angelelli are right behind him, too.
For those of you just joining us, this is what you have missed. The Gainsco 99 machine on the pole for the third time in 4 races. Really scary moment for John Pugh and the Mike Shank Racing Ford early on. Traffic was the key. Memo Rojas pulled off a beautiful move around the outside of John Fogarty for the lead. Contact between Nick Johnson and Eric Lux. Eric was one of the front runners in GT at the time. Watch the gentleman Jack Crawford here. Outside line, gets high on the curb, a little bit too much, and slams into the Spirit of Daytona Coyote. That car, both cars are out of this race. Good pit work from the Ganassi guys. Eric Lux tries to make a very optimistic and ambitious move on Nick Ham, and it did not work. Ganassi, Gainsco going at it. Slight contact there between the third Farnbacher Lowell's car and Alex Gurney. And dramas here for the 40. For the Dempsey Racing Mazda after at one stage leading the class. Oh, lap after lap, Pruitt and Romain Dumas went at it. Pruitt finally puts his car in a great position and has not looked back, has just run away from the Penske car. Good run, too, for the Lennox Riley here for Bayer Racing, and Mike Forrest is behind the wheel now. The Rolex race summary, here's the deal. Current leader is Mark Wilkins for AIM Autosport, and in GT it's Craig Stanton. 6 lead changes, and we have had 3 full course cautions.
And the 13 was just in the pit lane, did a driver change there. Mike Forrest trying to get up to speed on cold tires. You see him lock him up there going into the inner loop, but a great day for the Lennox mob.
Let's say, yeah, well done, Ricky Taylor.
You got to wonder if
guys, there are plenty of stars in the Rolex Sports Car Series. Future stars, too. Ricky Taylor, what a great job you did leading for this Bayer Racing team. How does it feel with such a young team, such a young driver going out there and leading a field like this?
Yeah, you know, it is a young team, and they're doing a great job. They really deserve to be leading more races than they are. I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. I've just messed up a couple times in some of the races, but yeah, they do a great job, and they really deserve it.
Well, one of the points in the race, one of the cars you're chasing down just happened to be this silver number 10 that was in front of you. Were you thinking about who owned that car when you were racing it, or were you just racing hard?
I was. I know how badly he doesn't want to scratch it, so I know there's 100 Toshiba guests here, and I wanted to keep it clean for him. So yeah, it was nice to, whenever you're battling with those kind of people, it's a dream.
Well, like I said, guys, this series is full of stars. You're looking at one of the future ones right here.
Romain Dumas is under pressure like you can't believe. Alex Gurney in the 99. Christophe Bouchou has caught these guys and really wants to put the Supercar Life BMW on the podium.
And we talked about it before. Christophe Bouchou doesn't care anything about anyone else's championship. He just wants the best run he can have. He feels he's got a great car here today, Dorsey. He's going to try and get this car to the front.
Well, he's got it where he needs to be, no question about that. These guys in front have been battling each other. He's had clean air. Now that he's caught up, though, can he stay that fast?
These guys are very serious. When I say these guys, the Supercar Life organization, about their Grand Am competition. Scott Tucker is focused on his Ferrari Challenge Championship at the moment. Here is the SunTrust 10. It is starting to catch, and it has Max Angelelli, former series champion, behind the wheel after Brian Frizzell had such a promising opening part of this race. Is this three-car battle about to be four?
Oh, yeah, it's about to be four. Max the Axe smells blood. He can see the guys in front of him.
Up front, it's Mark Wilkins leading the race for AIM Autosport, but fuel is not on his side.
It really isn't. He definitely needs help. We spoke to Ian Willis about the fact they need at least one caution, a long one, or maybe two. So Mark Wilkins just hanging on, just trying to keep that lead. He'd love to make it two in a row here at Watkins Glen, but the team needs help.
And there is the green machine. We flagged it earlier on. We said this car was the first of the front runners to come in and gas it up nice and early. The Brazilian, the former F1 pilot, Ricardo Zonta, in search of his second Grand Am win for Krone Racing.
And this car has just come alive once again, the green machine in race conditions. They've really struggled a little bit at times in qualifying, but boy, when you get Zonta behind the wheel and he sees the lead car in front of him, he's going to be going for blood.
Well, it all goes down to a caution now, doesn't it? If they don't get a caution, this car sits really good. If the caution comes out, on the other hand, he's going to have a lot of brothers all around him. Oh, here it is.
That's the 48 machine that were having such a great run here today. They'd made that pit stop, and now they find the fence.
Oh, dramas 2 for the 10. Was there contact between the 48 and the 10?
The right rear of the Porsche was down. I think it's going to be what happened.
Yep.
Yep, no doubt. There's been contact.
Bryce Miller had just jumped behind the wheel after taking over from Kevin Roush. That car was leading its class, but how bad is the damage on the SunTrust Dallara?
Well, we don't have a full course yet. I'm surprised this car is going to have a hard time getting back.
Oh, big damage to the right rear of that car. What a shame. What a great debut. Let's take a look and see what happens here. Here they come. Oh, Bouchou gets loose. Angelelli reacts and hasn't cleared Bryce Miller there. He was trying to make himself enough room as Bouchou came back on the track.
Absolutely. A dominoes effect, Calvin. Nowhere to go.
Just the meat in the sandwich, a racing incident. You'd have to hope that maybe Angelelli's car is okay.
Oh, yeah, there's just no way this is going to work. And that full course yellow is out now.
For the fourth time this race. And for the Miller-Barrett team, this is not what they were hoping for. A heavily damaged Porsche as Bryce Miller steers it back to pit lane. Well, that's the story on the 10.
Well, they're going to have to leader of this race, Dorsey. This could be good news. Mark Wilkins needed a yellow. He's got one. Is it going to be enough? How long will this yellow be?
Well, I think it's going to be 3 laps is what we're going to been doing anyway.
Ian Willis told us earlier he needs definitely 1 lap, maybe 2 laps under caution. Let's find out more from the AIM Autosport team.
Guys, just a quick update on the 10 car. They're checking the pressures. They're looking at their computers. Everything looks good right now. Bert, a couple seconds ago, you were looking pretty nervous when we were green flag running. You saw the caution, and I could see you have a sigh of relief there.
Yeah, we were looking for a debris caution. I hate to see people get injured, especially my brother's car, but we needed the caution. We got it. I'm hoping we can make it to the end. I just want to say hi to my mom and my sister back at home. I know they were nervous, especially when Brian and I were going at it, but it's looking good for AIM Autosport.
Well, these guys won it last year. They could be in a position to win it again. Brian, what do you have?
I've got big-time damage on the 48. We saw Bryce Miller, just an innocent victim there as Angelelli came over, and the right rear suspension seriously deranged on this Miller Barrett Porsche. So for right now, the Marquis Jet parked here on pit road, and that's where it's going to stay for the rest of the day, guys.
Isn't that a shame? After such a great debut, that car led its class. So we pause, we catch our breath for a moment. This is going to be some kind of a finish. Stick around.
Hey guys, just to let you know, the 61 decided they're going to come in. Willis said he can't make it. 10 car, everything's still looking good. Pressures are fine.
Well, Autosports have been fantastic at setting up these track tests, and so Gary Watkins, who does a lot of the features around the world, put this together with the guys at Grand Am, and it's an incredible opportunity to drive 5 different cars in 1 hour.
But the car feels stiffer.
They were all great, they're different in their own way. I like this one's air conditioning actually the best, the Lola. I think the great thing with this championship is that they're built in this greenhouse box that they've designed the aero template.
It's one of the aspects of this special race each year, not only racing each other, but racing the daylight. That's what we always do here at the Glen in the short course race, and this one is far, far from over. What's it like to drive a Daytona prototype? Well, this weekend, British racing driver Ben Collins got to find out.
Well, Autosports have been fantastic at setting up these track tests, and so Gary Watkins, who does a lot of the features around the world, put this together with the guys at Grand Am, and it's an incredible opportunity to drive 5 different cars in 1 hour.
But the car feels stiffer.
they were all great. They're different in their own way. I like this one's air conditioning actually the best, the Lola. I think the great thing with this championship is that they're built in this greenhouse box that they've designed the aero template with. It's very hard for the teams to break beyond that by being clever. So effectively, they've all come around the same problem in slightly different ways. So the cars all feel very similar.
You're welcome.
And Ben's driven a lot of cars in his career, open wheel cars. He's driven FIA, GT, sports cars in the UK and all around the world. And later this year, he'll head down under to drive V8 supercars for the first time as well.
There's a rumour, for anyone who watches Top Gear, you may have recognised the Stig, that plain white overalls and helmet. Perry McCarthy, our old buddy Dorsey, used to be the Stig, and he retired from that position. Rumour has it that maybe Ben Collins, the unknown driver on Top Gear.
Less than 20 minutes to run. We're under our 4th full course caution. Heavy damage on the 48 Miller Barrett Porsche. It's the end of the day for those guys. It is far from the end of the day for the 76 Krone Racing Ford-powered Lola. For the Proto Auto Group. Ready to roll. Is this going to be Zonta and Jonsson's 2nd win of the year? Let's find out. Scott Pruitt's not too far away. You can see Christophe Bouchou got by Alex Gurney before. Angelelli on the inside. This is why we call him Max the Axe.
He's all locked up there, Dorsey, trying to get that car down to the apex. He's right underneath the tailpipes of Christophe Bouchou. 2 very aggressive drivers. One not in the championship hunt, one very much so.
But did he hurt the tires with that lockup? That's going to be the question. We'll know in a minute because he's going to have to brake hard again as they head toward the inner loop.
It's important for the 10 to be ahead of the 99 for championship points.
Gurney lost some ground there on the lap before we went to caution. So with all that scuffling going on, Gurney lost a couple of spots. That's critical in the championship points chase.
On board with Christophe Bouchou here, the Supercar Life BMW machine.
Oh, and he's trying hard to get in the inside. If he could just get the nose in.
He wants that position from Romain Dumas. He wants a shot at Pruitt. But on the inside, the 10 of Angelelli. He's going to put a roadblock in his way.
And that's the problem with making a maneuver. You see the smoke off the tire. If you don't get the pass executed, you are laying game for the guy behind you.
What a great job by Max there. Read the situation perfectly. Chris.
You guys saw that smoke coming off the tire. The team has been watching it too. They've been watching our images. They've got spotters out on the racetracks. They think the tire's going to be okay because they've also got the telemetry and the pressures are holding in that. But one thing Max Angelelli is saying, guys, I have an incredibly loose race car. He's got a loose race car, but he's still pushing to the front. Brian?
And it's getting cool out here, guys. As we get to nighttime, we're seeing a lot of wheels locking up. We even saw it on Zonta into turn 1. Pruitt closing all over the back of him. And we know Romain Dumas struggling with a flat spot on the right front tire. So right now the track is changing. The drivers have to adapt, but the competition just as fierce.
Remember, one thing about that Lola that currently leads, that really struggles to get those tires back up to temp. They've done a lot of testing trying to get that situation better. They did a test at Road Atlanta just a couple of weeks ago, just really working hard to get this Lola at the right pace. Right now he has it, but he's got Pruitt all over him.
Tracy Krone not here this weekend. Tracy will be watching and cheering his squad on. Back on board with Bouchou. He's lost a spot and unable to do anything about it. It's more championship points for Wayne Taylor's SunTrust Dallara. Back up front. And that's a little more like it. Zonda's been able to gap Pruitt slightly and a lot more conservative and controlled through turn 1 this time.
They're looking really good, and what a birthday present it would be for David Brown, who recently celebrated his 50th. Sorry, David, to share that with the rest of the world. But boy, what experience on that team. Jeff Hazel, David Brown. They've been around the block a few times, but boy, are they really getting this Lola. So it's starting to show some results, Dors.
And I think what you're seeing is at the lowest tire temperatures, it took that long to come up. This is the gap he's pulled on Pruitt because the tires now, the car's happy again, and he's got his foot in it.
Think about the extra challenge that the Krone boys have had to face, the likes of Simon Marshall and Brian Colangelo and the rest of the gang. Going from a 2-car squad to a 1-car squad totally changes your focus. They were used to having that other car to bounce things off, help with setup, run different strategy, run different setups. Back to that single car for the majority of this season. You're running through the positions there. Behind Dumas, it's Angelelli, Bouchou, Gurney, Dial, Negri, Mike Forrest and David Donohue in the top 10. Dirk Werner, the championship leader, is leading the race yet again. Will it be another one to the 87? He's being hounded by Dane Cameron. Look for that red RX-8. The Mazda is certainly in the hunt. Jeff Siegel has now put the 69 machine there. Watch him fly.
He is dynamite around this racetrack. He's had success here before. We spoke to Sylvain Tremblay, who drives the sister machine. He said Siegel is just dynamite around here, particularly on the brakes. He has the lead, Dorsey. He's looking good.
But they've traded that lead 2 times in this one lap, and they've got all of these Daytona prototypes messing their race up for them.
But remember, Dirk Werner has so much experience. He recognizes the championship position. They had a 25-point lead coming in, and the guy in front of him is not in the championship hunt. He'll be happy with second.
How about the guy with the new team who actually led at one stage in this race? Let's hear from Bryce Miller.
Bryce Miller on the debut here. Kevin Roush, what a great job he did early on. You took over the charge there in the end, and sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. It looks like you guys lost out today.
Yeah, I feel bad. I mean, Kevin drove his heart out. He just had such a great run going there. And, you know, these guys just work so hard to make this happen. It's really been a continuation of our testing and development of the last couple months, so I don't really know how much we could have held out in expectation here, but yeah, it would have been nice to finish for sure for a debut race. I think there's a little bit of a respect disparity maybe with some space on the racetrack, but I'm really proud of the guys and the team and my sponsors, Marquis Jet and IPC, and you know, we're going to look forward to the next races.
Great job, guys. Great job, and I would expect to see these guys at the front the next time they come back, Lee.
Speaking at the front of the GT class, Dirk Werner had a hard job getting by the Pontiac there, but he's cleared that and now chases Jeff Siegel. We'll be back. Quick reminder to log on to SpeedTV.com for all the latest racing news, commentary, and exclusive analysis from SpeedTV.com personalities and industry experts like guys in this race. Timo Bernard, Darren Law, Romain Dumas, and Andy Wallace. In that last commercial break, major drama for the 10, the SunTrust Solara. Chris, tell us more.
Well, guys, we had been watching this for the past 20 minutes, how the bodywork was rubbing on this right rear corner. We can see the team over here trying to pull that valance off the tire as that tire had finally let go. The team was watching the air pressure on that corner. Everything seemed to be fine, but going into the bus stop, it just let go. Angelelli kept the car under control, but obviously they are well back now.
The tire pressure never will go down when you have a tire rubbing, because once it's rubbed through, it just all explodes away, and that's what's happened. But that is a result of contact out on the racetrack. No question about that part of it.
And at Daytona a couple of rounds ago, remember the 01 car flat spotted a tire and tried to stretch it, and that caught them out, cost them many positions that day. But right now up front, Zonta is looking great.
Yeah, he's got about a 1.5 second lead over Scott Pruitt. Into third place now is the 55 Supercar Life BMW Riley of Christophe Bouchou. He's got by Romain Dumas, pushed the Penske off the podium, and Romain's got drama here.
That's what I was talking about. I saw that at the top of the screen. Dumas' car, now the right front blown on that is shredded the bodywork, Calvin.
And again, a flat spot probably created that. He was in the thick of the action, really forcing the issue. Had a great drive going today. Romain Dumas was doing a tremendous job trying to hold on to that podium position. Just another disaster. I mean, if they are out of the championship before this round, this could be a killing blow right here.
All of this with less than 5 minutes to run. And yes, the lights really are in true effect here. The headlights, that is. It is a lot darker here at Watkins Glen than what it appears on your television sets at home. And there's a crazy race in GT as well. Jeff Siegel and the 2007 class champion Dirk Werner going at it. Werner is trying to win his second title in 3 years.
And Dirk Werner had to come from a long way back because he got split in traffic. Jeff Siegel, we told you, can drive really good at this racetrack, but guess what? Dirk Werner is the faster of the two cars, but finding a way by, that's going to be interesting.
Siegel's a 6-hour winner here at the Glen, along with Nick Longy and Emil Asentato. We always give the praise to the drivers in the fight at the end. Let's not forget about Emil Asentato, who started this race in the 69 to hand it over to Siegel. And how about Lee Keane, who put the 87 on pole?
Well, Jeff Siegel hasn't seen a podium yet this year, but he's got a great run going here today. But think about the championship. How hard is Dirk going to push? They're leading the championship by a healthy margin. He can't afford to throw it away right here.
The 12 is on pit road. Dumas has made it. Brian?
Well, we did talk earlier about the flat spot that Romain Dumas was trying to deal with. Damage to the nose. They'll replace the right front tire. Also, big damage to the splitter as well. They're not going to take the time to put a nose and a splitter on it with time running out. They're going to get it back on track and collect as many points as they can.
I think that's the right move. Sometimes when the nose gets clobbered like that, it could, you know, work where it fastens to the chassis and give you a lengthy pit stop. So they just get him underway, finish the race out.
He got less than a handful of laps to go. All he needs to go is go out there and lap around, stay out of trouble. I mean, it was bad luck, but it was brought on by themselves.
3 minutes to go. Will we see the green machine, the Krone Racing Ford Lola, win for the second time this year? People say about the wet weather in New Jersey, oh yeah, wet weather winners, whatever it is. Well, this one has been in the dry at high speed on the short course at Watkins Glen. Here's the fight for the GT honours. Status quo. Pressure still being applied to Jeff Siegel.
And, of course, they're constantly being harassed like they are right now as the Daytona prototype field has to work their way through. It hurts one car, it helps the other, and vice versa.
With Dumas and Angelelli being removed from the top 5, that helps Ryan Dial and the Orbit BMW move into the top 5, and it also helps David Donohue to move up to 6th, Mark Wilkins 7th, Barbosa 8th, Negri 9th, and Mike Forrest in the top 10 as well. Here's your race leader. 37 Formula One Grand Prix under his belt, but you've never seen Ricardo Zonta smile more than when he won his first Grand Am race at New Jersey Motorsports Park earlier this year. Chris?
Well, Pruitt's been very quiet over the radio, but what he has said is, guys, I don't think I can catch Zonta. It's going to come down to traffic. He is laying down some incredibly fast laps, so if it's just he and I going at it, I can't get him. But if he gets bogged by some GT traffic, that's my only hope.
Oh, what a day it would be for Nick Jansson's father. He's over here visiting from Sweden. It was Nick's son's birthday just last week, and he was here to celebrate that, but he watched his other son, Nick's brother, celebrate a win. He works on Ryan Briscoe's IndyCar team, have a victory last weekend, and what a day it would be for him to see his son Nick get a victory here right in front of his eyes.
Well, for right now, Ricardo Zonta just needs to look ahead, read the traffic. They're going to get the white flag when they get to the start-finish line. One more lap to go. He's got too much of a lead for himself to lose anyway, except for making a big mistake or really being held up, and I don't see that happening.
Jeff Hazel was optimistic about this car and the team's chances today. He said, we go down a funny road with setup. He said, we have some ideas, we roll it off the truck, we work our way through a myriad of strategies and ideas, and basically we end up coming back to the way we rolled off the truck. He said, let's hope that works today. I think it could. And so far, so good for Nick Johnson and Ricardo Zonta. And remember, it's only the second year for this Proto Auto Lola. So if, in less than 30 seconds' time, Zonta goes on to win, it'll be 2 wins in just its second year in Grand Am competition. 1 to go. The white flag is out.
And he's really stretched that margin right now over Pruitt. And I have to think that both the second-place runner, Pruitt, in the DP machine, and the second-place runner, Werner, in the GT machine, are thinking big picture, thinking championship. Good points today.
Absolutely right, Cal, no question about it. They know what this assessment is. They can see right now, I'm not going to make any chances. I'm going to get a second place out of this and can retain this lead.
And second to fourth, Pruitt to Gurney. There's going to be a 4-point shift there in favor of the Ganassi team. The 10, of course, with their woes, it's dropped to 12th. So really another savage blow to Wayne Taylor's SunTrust Dallara team. We'll see how they respond. In GT, Jeff Siegel is doing well. He's got 1.25 seconds over Dirk Werner and Dane Cameron. John Maraki's Racers Edge team could be on the podium. Wouldn't that be a great story? Bringing it home, the Krone Aviation sponsored Proto Auto Lola. Tracy Krone will be ecstatic. His boys, his squad, have done it for the second time in 2009. Ricardo Zonta and Nick Johnson victorious at the Glen. Well done, boys. The green machine has done it.
Perfect strategy, executed.
But he had to race it down at the end. It wasn't given to him. He had to hold off Pruitt, and he showed what he's worth.
He did, particularly under those first couple of laps when we went back to green. He was feeling the heat. He kept it together beautifully. You can see the emotion there.
Bringing it home in GT. They've done it in the 6 hour. Now the 69 team can say they've done it in the short course race. A sequence of corners to go. Dirk Werner isn't close enough. Good, sensible championship racing there from the 87 Farnbacher Lowe's Porsche. And Mazda, for the first time in this short course race, will go to victory lane. Well done, Jeff Siegel and Emil Asentato and the Speed Source engineering team. Awesome performance from those guys. Great stuff. And as we go to the break, we congratulate both of our class winners. We will hear from them on the other side of this. Speed's coverage of the Rolex Sports Car Series is presented on Speed by Rolex, a crown for every achievement. And brought to you in part by Pirelli. Power is nothing without control. It's time to talk winning, it's time to talk victory, and it's the 7th win in Grand Am for Krone Racing, and Brian Till is there.
And there's a smile you talk about, Lee. We saw it at VIR in the rain, but today you really had to fight back. The penalty early on, but the car was spectacular. How special was this one?
It was very special, especially because Pruitt was very quick behind. I had a little bit problem with the warming up the tires on the restart, on the last restart after the yellows. But I'm very happy. You know, after the weekend, I think this is the best for us.
You heard him, very happy. They did it in the rain, and they can prove that they can do it in the dry as well. Krone Racing up front. Lee.
And that's some good sportsmanship there from Pruitt and Rojas coming in to congratulate those guys. Here's the split. Here's the important aspect to this. It was tied when we came into this round. The Ganassi boys now have a 4-point advantage over the Gainsco duo of Gurney and Fogarty. And look at how damaging that was today. From 1 point out of the championship to 14 points out for the SunTrust boys. Werner and Keane still very comfortable at the top. Let's hear from our GT winners.
Well, Emil Asentato and Jeff Siegel grabbed their first victory of the year, but Speed Sources and Mazda's second. Jeff, your teammates were saying you were magic here. You came through.
Yeah, this place is awesome. I mean, last time we were here for the 6-hour race, it wasn't what we expected. We dominated last year. This year we struggled, but Speed Source prepares an awesome car. The Mazda RX-8 was awesome. Thanks so much for Emil for driving a great stint, and I'm just so excited. Hopefully more by the rest of the year.
These guys grabbed their second victory at Watkins Glen, where they won before.
This short course race always provides spectacular racing every year.
This is the best road racing you can be. I mean, you can't take a breath. You got to stand up the whole time for this one.
It's frenetic, and with both classes out there tonight, it was spectacularly.
How about that? And just when you think everything's dominated by Gainsco or Ganassi or Wayne Taylor Racing, up pops Krone Racing yet again. We head to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal in just 3 weeks' time for the next round of the Rolex Sports Car Series, and there are only 3 rounds left. Who will prevail? Who will be this year's championship winners? That is yet to be answered. It's so close. GT are more of a comfortable lead, but in DP, it's still anybody's. Hope you enjoyed this shorter race, this 2-hour race from the Glen. So much more to come in this year's Rolex Sports Car Series. We'll see you in Montreal in 3 weeks.